At Technology Review, we've spent the past 2 months living with the latest M4 MacBook Air, using it not as a test device but as our daily driver. After weeks of intense real-world use, video editing, writing, design, and daily productivity, it's time to address the big question. Is this still Apple's most balanced laptop for 2025? Spoiler, it's not just about the M4 chip. This MacBook Air feels like Apple refining a formula to near perfection. But let's dig deeper. A design that just doesn't age. 2 months in, and the M4 MacBook Air's design still feels premium. If you're familiar with the MacBook Air redesign introduced with the M2 chip, then you'll feel right at home. It's thin, light, and wrapped in that gorgeous aluminum unibody. But this time, there's a fresh sky blue finish that adds a soft pop of color without being too flashy. Subtle, refined, and distinctly modern. Apple knows how to do this right. Despite being ultra-thin, it doesn't compromise on build quality. The hinge is solid, the finish resists fingerprints better than expected, and it remains cool and quiet during most tasks. The power of M4 in a fanless body. The headlining upgrade, of course, is the jump to the M4 chip. It's not just a bump in speed, it's a redefinition of what an ultra-portable can handle. Apple's strategy here is clear. Give the MacBook Air enough power to blur the line between a casual laptop and a creative workhorse. Over these 2 months, the M4 has delivered smooth performance across all typical productivity tasks. Multitasking with Safari, Slack, Zoom, and Lightroom running simultaneously? No sweat. What's more surprising is how well it handles heavier creative workloads. Final Cut Pro exports, Adobe Lightroom batch edits, and even casual Logic Pro sessions, all possible even with no fan inside. It's not a MacBook Pro, of course, but the M4 gets scarily close for most users. For students, remote workers, and even light content creators, this chip is more than enough. Battery life that still stands out. Apple claims up to 18 hours of battery life, and during our testing, it came impressively close. With mixed usage, web browsing, video playback, and writing, the 13-inch M4 MacBook Air averaged around 15 to 16 hours. Push it with more demanding tasks like video rendering and it still comfortably lasts a full workday. This is one of the few laptops where battery life isn't something you constantly monitor. You charge it, you work all day, and you probably still have juice left when you're done. That's the kind of experience Apple has perfected here. Display and portability that fits everyone. The 13.6-inch Liquid Retina display remains one of the most balanced panels for this price point. It's not a mini LED or OLED like you'd get on the iPad Pro or MacBook Pro, but it still holds up beautifully. Brightness peaks at 500 nits, colors are rich and accurate, and text is razor sharp. What really makes the M4 MacBook Air stand out is portability. At just over 2.7 pounds, this laptop is the dream device for anyone on the move. It slips into backpacks with ease and doesn't weigh you down. Combine that with all-day battery life, and it's ideal for both coffee shop creatives and business travelers. The quiet strength of the Mac experience. While hardware plays a huge role, the overall MacBook Air experience is elevated by macOS. With macOS Sonoma and upcoming Sequoia optimizations, the M4 chip truly shines. Universal control, continuity, FaceTime handoff, and the native Apple Silicon app ecosystem make day-to-day use feel seamless. Apps launch instantly. Sleep and wake are near instant. Everything feels optimized and polished. After 2 months, there were no slowdowns, no system errors, and no overheating. Not something you can say for every Windows Ultrabook out there. AI features and Apple Silicon future-proofing. With the M4 chip, we're also entering a more AI-centric era for macOS. While macOS Sequoia is expected to bring more advanced AI workflows, even today, machine learning-powered features, like voice dictation, background removal in FaceTime, and photo enhancements, run noticeably faster. Apple's vertical integration continues to pay off. Having control over the hardware and software stack makes the M4 chip not just fast, but intelligently efficient. That's the kind of future-proofing you want in a laptop you'll likely keep for 3 to 5 years. Thermals and silence, a true MacBook Air trait. One of the unsung victories of the M4 MacBook Air is how well it handles thermals without a fan. Even during extended video editing or Photoshop sessions, the chassis gets warm but never hot. And because it's fanless, it's whisper quiet all the time. This silent performance makes it perfect for students in libraries, professionals in meetings, or creators who need a distraction-free workspace. Overheating isn't an issue, and Apple seems to have nailed thermal management even with the extra horsepower of the M4. Sky blue is more than just a color. Let's talk aesthetics for a moment. The new sky blue finish is stunning in person. It's not as dark as midnight, not as bright as starlight. It lands somewhere between classic and contemporary. Under different lighting, it reflects subtle tones that make it feel almost like a chameleon color. If you care about visuals and design, and let's be honest, many Mac users do, this finish makes the M4 Air feel fresh. It's a small detail that brings a lot of personality to a device that millions of people use. Keyboard and trackpad still set the standard. Apple's Magic Keyboard continues to be the gold standard in laptop typing. It's responsive, quiet, and reliable. The Touch ID sensor in the top right corner works quickly and accurately. The Force Touch trackpad remains the best in the industry, spacious, precise, and unmatched in haptics. Nothing's changed here, and that's a good thing. Apple nailed this input combo years ago, and it still beats most Windows laptops in this department. Speakers and webcam, good enough but not pro. The 4-speaker system on the M4 MacBook Air is impressive for such a thin device. It's not going to beat the 6-speaker setup in the Pro models, but for Netflix, YouTube, or video calls, it performs better than expected. Vocals are clear, mids are present, and volume gets plenty loud. The 1080p webcam is still solid. It won't blow your mind, but in good lighting, you'll look sharp and professional. With center stage and background blur features, it's ready for hybrid work out of the box. So, who is this laptop for? That's the real question we tried to answer after 2 months. And honestly, the M4 MacBook Air hits a massive sweet spot. It's perfect for students, writers, casual creators, and professionals who don't need MacBook Pro horsepower but still want great performance. Final thoughts. Apple's most complete laptop? After living with the M4 MacBook Air for over 2 months, our verdict is simple. It's Apple's most complete laptop for 2025. It balances power and portability, performance and price, all while delivering that signature Apple polish. It may not be the flashiest upgrade Apple has ever made, but it's quietly brilliant in all the ways that matter. This is a laptop you can rely on day after day without compromise. The M4 chip unlocks new potential. The battery keeps going, and the design remains timeless. If you're looking for the best all-around Mac for the next few years, the M4 MacBook Air deserves to be at the top of your list.